What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. It says ICE is in cities nationwide. And there's shootings that's not happening. There's not a lot, much of chaos. Too bad that's that's happening. It is protesters. That it has been protesters, but it hasn't been as nearly as bad as what we're witnessing in Minnesota. It says even in Memphis with a Democrat mayor, they are, cooperating, and looking very good, compared to, what Minnesota has, in store. One thing about it, you have here says President Trump says he and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey have spoken, and Tom Homan and Frey will be meeting tomorrow. People are literally saying don't cave in, for the president not to cave in. And obviously, we all know that that's not the case whatsoever. It's not the case. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it, especially, the news that I got to, give y'all right now. But says, this is posted by President Trump, says, I just had a very good telephone conversation with Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis. Lots of progress is being made. Tom Homan will be meeting with him tomorrow in order to continue the discussion. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So you have that. Then you have a post by Tom Homan. Says, today I met with Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, and top law enforcement officials to discuss the issues on the ground in Minnesota. We all agree that we need to support our law enforcement officers and get criminals off the street. While we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point. And I will look forward to more conversations with key stakeholders in these days ahead. President Trump has been clear. He wants America's city to be safe and secure for law-abiding residents, and they will be. And you clearly have that, which is definitely amazing. That for everybody. I know that y'all are, sick and tired of seeing, these bad things happening and this, that, and the other. I truly understand that. It is sickening that, this is happening and this stuff is going on. But, these things take time, of course. Right here, and I have this, so I'm, not, obviously saying this wrong, but these are things that, obviously, Tim Walz and Frey have to agree on. It says President Trump agreed to remove customs and border protection agents in Minnesota to support ICE operations only if Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey agreed to the following. And you have it right here. This is Caroline Levitt explaining that.
In Minnesota. Number 1, Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, and all Democrat leaders should turn over all criminal illegal aliens currently incarcerated in their prisons and jails to federal authorities, along with any illegal aliens with active warrants or known criminal histories for immediate deportation. Number 2, state and local law enforcement must agree to turn over all illegal aliens who are arrested by local police. And then thirdly, local police must assist federal law enforcement in apprehending and detaining illegal aliens who are wanted for crimes, especially violent crimes. If Governor Walz and Mayor Frey implement these common sense cooperative measures that I will add have already been implemented in nearly every single other state across the country, Customs and Border Patrol will not be needed to support ICE on the ground in Minnesota. ICE and local law enforcement can peacefully work together, as they are effectively doing in so many other states and jurisdictions. Additionally, President Trump is calling on the United States Congress to immediately pass legislation ending sanctuary cities once and for all. American cities should be safe sanctuaries for law-abiding citizens only, not for dangerous illegal alien criminals who broke our nation's laws and do not belong here. We hope Governor Walz will do the right thing and continue to work with President Trump to keep the American people safe following their call this morning.
So you literally have Walz and Frey must turn over all criminal illegals currently in their custody, along with any illegals with active warrants or known criminal histories for immediate deportation, which y'all know that they released, a lot of these criminals. Says state and local police must agree to turn over all illegals arrested by police to the federal government. Local police must assist in apprehending illegals wanted for crimes, especially the violent ones. So you literally have this, this whole thing, with what's obviously what's needed. And you have here, and again, this was a meeting. Y'all heard me say they had a meeting. You obviously had, to President Trump saying that they need to agree on this, that, and the other. You got it right here. This is breaking. This is on Fox News posted. It says Trump warns Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey that he is playing with fire as city refuses to enforce federal immigration laws. President Trump posted and says, surprisingly, Mayor Frey just stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. This is after having a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is very serious violation of the law and that he is playing with fire. And truly, I truly don't get how you have individual. It's one of those things. I'm not about to sit here and say that I'm surprised by this. I'm not surprised by this just for the simple fact because just think about it, y'all. Why should I be surprised every time? And the funny thing is, this is not the first person. I'm sure this is not going to be the last individual that do this to Trump. And what I mean by do this to Trump, anytime that there is somebody from the Trump administration or Trump, and the individual meets with a person like from the Trump administration or Trump, they sit there and it seems like everything's going good. They listen, they be respectful, this, that, and the other. But then as soon as they leave, and as soon as they get on, they get on CNN or they get on, this type of. They completely change. They completely change. Just like Zoran Mandani. Zoran Mandani went to the White House, and he pulled that. As soon as he went to New York, it's a whole different story. You know what I mean? And I feel like it was one of those things. So I can't say that I'm surprised about this. Can't say it. Truly. Check it out right here, what he says right here. I mean, it is literally giving it out.
Of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature.
I'm just saying, like, what possibly, like, not even trying to be funny, how could you not believe and think that this is something that y'all are causing? Like, they know they're causing this. They know that their city and the individuals in their city are causing this. They truly do. And it's very, very sickening to me. This is how you know. These are individuals that obviously, again, there's a Somalian that got arrested. These individuals have assaulted federal agents. And y'all see that Tom Homan, not only Tom Homan, I got some other news of who else, touched down in Minnesota. But these individuals have gotten arrested. This dude is in a sling. Like, it's truly, truly, truly sickening that these individuals are doing this. Truly. Just like right here. It says about a dozen protesters have been arrested and walked to the police bus to be transferred to jail and processed. Like I've stated before, this stuff is definitely going to take time. It's definitely going to take time, regardless how anybody look at it. I know that, obviously, there are individuals that's like, well, I'm not seeing any progress. This stuff will take time. I'm just glad that they're actually, it's more so of action. It's more so of action what we're seeing. This right here, this Scott Jennings says Trump just got a massive backup from Scott Jennings. Literally speaking the truth here on CNN. Check it out.
I would just caution all these people. You cannot let an angry mob nullify federal law in a jurisdiction. If
you
they
mean,
do
you
that,
mean the American people?
Is
that what the angry mob is? The American people?
These people in Minneapolis are an angry mob, whether you like it or not. They don't like the fact that the president is enforcing long-standing federal immigration law.
Does that mean they should be shot on the street, Scott?
No,
that's the question that we're talking about, right?
The debate is about what the president's going to do next. And if you were to let them win and you were to be run out of town, what do you think would happen in L.A., Chicago, New York, all over the country? You're
so
either
you
going
don't
to
think
choose
what happened
to
to Alex
enforce the
Freddie
law
was
or you're not.
problematic? I mean,
do I think it's problematic? Of course it's problematic.
Okay, was it wrong?
Anytime someone
how far are you willing to go?
anytime someone dies, it's problematic.
Yeah.
But what they're asking for is for federal law enforcement to be sent out of town.
Is it wrong?
And that no federal laws be enforced.
Wrong?
Was what happened to Alex Freddie on the street wrong?
Was it wrong?
Was it wrong?
I'm waiting for an investigation, which I fully support. I don't know what the circumstances were.
If
I
it
don't
was a
like
Democratic president in the White House, would you be able
would
to
I
say
want an
it was
investigation?
wrong?
Would I want an Of course I would. I don't like that people.
I don't feel like it's one of those things like when people throw that in there, like if it was a Democratic president in there, would you feel as let me tell y'all something. One thing about it that people don't understand, that people like, Scott Jennings, meaning by people with common sense, you have to sit there and think about, a lot of things when it comes down to it. And what I mean is, just like he said, you wait on an investigation. You wait on that investigation. You obviously seen, what happened. Again, it's a lot of this common sense. I know a lot of y'all gonna, tell me, well, this is that, and I agree with what a lot of y'all are saying, when it comes down to it. And I gave my 2 cents in on that whole situation as is. But for people to sit there and say that and to do that is completely insane to me. Completely insane to me. And I do not like, when individuals do that, and try to make it seem like that. One thing about it, we all seen a video. We all seen, how this individual was. I literally just seen a video of that same guy doing the most, to federal agents, beforehand. And I'm telling y'all, it's definitely crazy, y'all.
I don't like this chaos, but I also don't like the idea that we're just going to say, well, in this one little territory, we're not going to enforce federal laws anymore. That doesn't strike me as a good idea for the president right now. So he's got a tricky situation. It's very complex, but being run out of town by an angry mob to me is not an option.
I'm telling you. One thing about it that I absolutely love is that Scott Jennings, definitely said what he had to and will say, and speak the truth on a lot of things when it comes down to it. But one thing that I love is that he doesn't hold back. He gonna speak the real and, again, say what he has to say. One thing about it, this is a post by Attorney General Pam Bondi. Says here, back on the ground in Minneapolis today. She's with Tom Homan and the FBI, which is definitely lit. I'm not gonna lie. Says we will not tolerate lawlessness in Minnesota. Nothing will stop us from continuing to make arrests and enforce the law. President Trump will make America safe again, and that's truly what a lot of individuals are wanting, is to be safe. And I can't wait, for bigger things, bigger things. When it comes down to Tim Walz, Fry, and Ilhan Omar. And many more. You got Keith Ellis. We got a whole everybody. You know what I mean? But you already know. Definitely hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all much. Love everybody. Stay tuned for the next video drop. And also, please go check out Recklezz Reacts. Drop 2 videos, so make sure y'all go check that out for me, please. Catch y'all next one.